I'm Jay Kingley, co-founder and CEO of Maven, your host of Fractionals Unplugged. I'm joined today by Jen Hamilton, the founder and leader of the Fractional COO Collective, which serves fractional COOs and integrators, whether they're deeply experienced or just starting their journey, and whether they're part of a firm or flying solo. The goal is to help the members serve and get clients. The Fractional COO Collective was started a little over a year ago and has almost 500 members. Jen is based in San Diego, California. Welcome, Jen.
Jay, thank you so much for having me. I'm just honored to be here, and I love talk about fractionals, so can't wait to dig in.
Are you feeling undervalued and stuck in the frustrating cycle of an inconsistent pipeline and income, despite consistently delivering exceptional results for your clients? Maven's proven 97% done-for-you client acquisition system transforms your expertise into a steady income of $300,000 to $500,000 a year, providing lasting financial security and establishing you as the go-to resource for your clients' toughest challenges. Join Jay Kingley, CEO of Maven, and his guests as they share actionable insights on today's episode of the Fractionals Unplugged podcast.
Well, Jen, let's say I've had a 30-year career in operations, with my last 2 years serving as the COO of a $250 million specialty chemical company. I've left corporate 6 months ago, and I'm focused on establishing myself as a fractional COO. I reach out to you because other people I know recommended the Fractional COO Collective as the go-to community. Now, you've got a maximum of 60 seconds to tell me what it's all about. Go.
Well, I'm grateful that someone else referred you to community because that's what we're about. We're about having a place to not feel alone and to learn from others who have been there and done that in the fractional COO space and the integrator space. And this is where we come together to share how to get those clients and how to serve those clients. It's a place where you can feel like you're a part of a team, but still have that freedom to do your own thing.
For some of our audience that may not be COOs or integrators, tell me the difference between a fractional COO and an integrator.
Good question. There will probably be other people that would answer differently. It's kind of one of those that a lot of people have different definitions, but the simplest way that I can put it is that a COO is someone who is leading like the right-hand leader to the owner, founder, CEO. They lead the leadership team. They are leading the way the company is run. An integrator essentially does the same thing. The system that they use to run the company is called the Entrepreneurial Operating System, also known as EOS. Some people call it the Traction System because the book that explains it is Traction. So to me, the real difference is just the operating system of EOS defines the COO as an integrator.
And I would just add that EOS is one of a myriad of different ways that are out there in terms of frameworks. And of course, a lot of fractional COOs aren't using any of those frameworks that others are pushing, but really just take their intellectual property from all the years of experience and customize it directly for the use of their clients. Because I hear these terms a lot, and I think those in the community assume that those outside the community understand the lingo, and of course that is never true. Take me through the benefits I get as a fractional or integrator for becoming part of your community.
The main benefit you get is the word community. Having a place to connect with others who are like you and going through the same things. The actual features, if you will, of what we do is that every month we have a monthly roundtable just for fractional COOs and integrators. And about 2/3 of the topics are either marketing or sales based because the biggest challenge that we often have as operators is that we're used to being behind the curtains and somebody else goes and sells or represents the company. Well, now it's on you. And that's where a lot of our community members, whether you're starting or you've been doing it for a while, that's where they struggle, is to be that confident person who's going out and successfully doing business development. So we have discussions in these roundtables. About 2/3 of them are around that. And the other third are around how to serve the client. How do I help them to get more doers and not have their leaders doing all the doing, subjects like this. So I pick a different topic, or I have community members that offer topics, and we go deep into one each month at these roundtables. I start off with a little bit of introductions of the community, introductions of new members. I give a little bit of a context, how I see the topic, how I want to get them set up for it, just about 5-minute kind of mini training. And then we spend 40 minutes in small groups as peers answering questions that I have prepared around the topic. So they get to meet each other, they get to hear from each other, kind of the things that they're dealing with, why they're dealing with it, and then how to fix it. And it's just very helpful to feel like it's not just you trying to do this all alone. You have other veterans like myself and newbies as well coming together and thinking through these things. And people that come always thank me for having a collaborative environment and having a place where people understand what they're talking about.
There are a lot of communities out there that serve fractionals. Seemingly, there are new communities that literally pop up every single day. So what makes the Fractional COO Collective different from all the others?
I'm part of other fractional leadership groups and fractional executive groups, and I appreciate the role that they have. I like the cross-pollination, that there are different kinds of fractionals within a lot of these fractional groups. What I didn't see out there, and this is part of what I started it, but we can go into more of that later if you like. One of the things that I didn't see is a place just for those ops-minded folks. And I wanted a place where I could learn from others that are dealing with specifically the types of clients we want to attract, and specifically the way we serve clients. That's where we have our united conversation. So if another fractional wanted to come to a fractional COO roundtable, maybe they're in marketing, maybe they're in tech, I would say that this is not the place for you, because it's not the conversations that they are facing and interested in having. So that's the uniqueness, is that we really are very niched in that it's just the ops side of fractional executive leadership.
Now, what have you learned from the Fractional COO Collective that you didn't know when you were just starting the group?
One of the things that I learned is how challenged people are. I kind of guessed, but how challenged and how fearful they are of going out there and getting the clients. It's part of why I love people like yourself, Jay, who can help them with the business development side. You don't have a business if you don't do business development, and you would never let your clients not do business development. But I think the thing that I really learned and grew my empathy, and it also grew my understanding myself, is how much we're wired almost against doing business development. And so to help me not feel alone in my own journey to get comfortable and start to enjoy the business development, but it also helped me to have more empathy and understanding and realize that we need more tools. We need more support, maybe more so than other operators, to kind of translate our operational unique skill set and gifts into, okay, how do you apply that to something you're deeply afraid of, like business development? I think that's been the biggest learning. And so it's helped me over time be more confident, see where my skill sets blend into the business development. But also it's helped me mentor and train and teach others, not just me personally, although I love to do that, but to see others be able to share, okay, this is what worked for me. When I tried this, that helped me overcome that fear. And so just all of us being really aware of this is natural for us to be afraid of this, and how to overcome it has been probably the best learning for me. And I would imagine my members would say the same.
One of the perspectives I would add on that, and I would 100% agree with you, that, as I like to say, 95% of fractionals will say that is their number one issue. And if you ask them what their 10th biggest issue is, they would say it's the exact same thing, because if you can't solve that issue, what else are you worried about? But my perspective is this: we all have a zone of genius. And I think if you looked at the people in your community, they would say, we are great at what we do. We are great at operations. It is not easy, because if it were easy, anybody could do it. And we know that is not true. It takes years of practice, years of learning, and it's an ongoing process to get better still. Well, if that is true with operations, I would argue it is exactly true for marketing and sales. And why, if you're great at your zone of genius, would you ever imagine you're going to be great at something that clearly is not your zone of genius? So it causes people to be afraid and scared. But I would say that isn't it. What it should awaken in you is this perspective that, well, of course, that's not what you're great at. So then you can get focused, just like any good operations person would. And so, how am I going to solve this problem where I personally am not the greatest, but I still need to get it done? And I think that is a very natural thought process for most fractional COOs.
Essentially, as a shortcut, we apply systems, processes, templates, data to business development to make it feel a little more like, okay, I can do this.
So, what advice would you give to your fractional COO executives based on your deep experience with the community?
One thing I would say is don't give up. And part of this, I will say very upfront, is selfish. I just see the power that a fractional COO or integrator has to save small businesses from failing. And that's my vision. That's my mission, is that there are good businesses doing good work out there. And because they don't have ops in place, they're going to fail. The odds are they will fail. The solution for these small businesses is us ops folks. So please don't give up, because there is a huge need out there. It's just being willing to, like you said, learn new skills, being able to realize it takes some partnerships with folks who know how to do these things, whether it's through Maven, whether it's through other organizations. Like, it really takes effort to be able to overcome them, but you can do it. And there is a huge need. So don't think there's not enough clients out there, and don't think you can't be collaborative with other COOs, because everyone has their unique gifts, and there's plenty of businesses who need us. Just don't give up. Like, give it a shot with help. Don't think you have to do this alone. I think a lot of things around operators is we feel like, well, I've figured out every other thing in a business. I can figure this one out. And you just put your head down solo and do it. And it's like, no, this is an area that is too important. Like you said, if you can't get this right, nothing works. If you can nail the business development through learning, through partnerships, through other agencies, through other support, whatever it takes for you to nail it, you will have an incredible, passionate, exciting career as a fractional CEO, because you get to bring your amazing gifts to people who really, really, really need you. So don't give up.
Amen and well said. What does it cost to be a member of the collective?
So our basic membership is free. The basic membership essentially includes those monthly roundtables. We do have some additional paid opportunities, but I really wanted a community that can always come together without the worry of the commitment to the fee. For those who want to do a little bit more, we do have our premium membership, where you get more online coaching and support and training from myself and my other fractional CEOs that are on my A team. And then I also have what I call my inner circle. This is an invite only, so you have to apply. And that's where you get deep mentorship and training around what does it take as an operator, like we said, to apply our operator mind to business development.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to learn a bit about Jen.
Is your pipeline inconsistent and rarely full? Do you struggle to stand out and communicate your unique value? The lead generation you've done or had others do for you has largely been a waste of time and money. You're stressed out and feeling guilty, worried that you're not living up to your own expectations or supporting those who matter most to you. Maven offers the only 97% done-for-you client acquisition service, trusted by top fractional executives and consultants. Our proven system takes care of your go-to-market strategy, lead generation, and sales, turning your expertise into a full pipeline and a high-converting sales process. With Maven, you'll achieve a predictable income, financial security, and the confidence you'll never have to take a job working for someone else. Contact j.kingley at fractionalmaven.com to discover how Maven can help you build a thriving business working with clients who value your insights and are a joy to work with.
Welcome back. We're talking to Jen Hamilton, the founder and leader of the Fractional COO Collective, which serves, not surprisingly, fractional COOs and integrators. Jen, let's find out a bit more about you. And I want to start with you're wearing two different hats. So, how do you balance your own work as a fractional COO with running the Fractional COO Collective?
It's a great question. One of the things that I'm proud of as leading the Fractional COO Collective, and a lot of people see me as leading the industry because of that, is that I lead as one of them. I'm not setting this up as someone who doesn't do the work. And so for me, it's really important to mentor, train, and guide, and also improve my craft by being a participant, by learning from others. So to me, it's part of my own professional development. It's part of my own branding. I have a lot of people that come to me because they see me as the leader of this industry, which I am more than happy to point them to the right direction. So one of the things that I am very intentional about is that I do have my own clients, but I don't have so many that I can't honor my commitments to the community. And then I'm going to geek out on you for a second, and I'm going to sound like a total fractional COO. I have got such a good system in place, so much automation. I have delegated to my assistant, and we really have a well-oiled machine. It's taken us a little while, but there is a lot of steps to running this community, but we use technology and team. And so it frees me up to mostly lead, so that mostly I just show up into facilitation of the roundtable and then the different experiences for those paid members. I don't have to do all the background stuff. So I practice what I preach. I have someone running the ops side of my community so that I can give my best to my clients and give my best to my community.
It's a great exemplar for all fractional COOs to see how you manage and juggle this, because most fractionals need to have more than one client. So whether it's I've got 3 clients at a time or I got 2 clients and managing a community, it's still the same principles. And I love the fact that you are an example that people can learn from. So, what's one thing that few people know about you that they would find surprising?
I used to say that I have been practicing jujitsu, but now I do a podcast where we went into that whole thing. So the few people not knowing it is harder. But what I will say is that I think what would be surprising is that I am more of a, let's just say, gentle heart, but I push myself to do scary things, whether it's jujitsu. I'm not a fan of heights, so I'm pushing myself. Like I did trapeze, I did bungee jumping. Like I'm constantly pushing myself to do what frightens me and scares me, because it makes everything else that we do in our work as executives, doesn't matter what kind of fractional you are, and having your own business on top of it, there are hard things, difficult things that we have to deal with. And so if I can kind of push myself into what I would call more real fears, it makes me much more confident and able to kind of handle the mental fears of business a lot easier.
Now, if we take a look out over the coming 12 months, what's on the docket for the Fractional COO Collective?
Every month we have a different topic, so that will continue. But one of the things that I have been asked from other firms, other clients, even recruiting firms, is a list of our fractional COOs. Like people are trying to find, where do I find these people? Because like you said, there's other communities, but they're mixed communities. And so one of the things I had announced at our last roundtable last week is that I'm working towards getting a directory so that I can better advocate for our community and better support others in matching, essentially, in finding our members. And then as another piece to advocating for our community, in the next 12 months, I'll be setting up my own podcast called Fractional COOs to the Rescue, where I'm interviewing members of our community such that we can collectively educate small business owners around some of those good operational practices. So it helps them get exposure, and it helps me to continue to advocate for our profession. We're one of those that people get confused. Like, what does a COO do? When you're a small business, you haven't been in a big company, you don't really know what we do. So that's one of the things I love, is just expanding my advocacy by being on podcasts like this. What is this COO versus integrator? I just love to be able to educate so people this is what you do. Oh, cool. I need that, or I know someone who does. So more advocacy, more advocacy, more advocacy.
Well, what's the best way for someone in our audience to contact you?
There's my LinkedIn profile. Now, the hard thing about my LinkedIn profile is that Jen Hamilton, there's like a gazillion and a half. So we'll make sure that we get the right link. But my whole name on the end of my thing is Jennifer Dawn Hamilton, because that was the only way I could distinguish myself in my LinkedIn address. And then I would encourage you to check out my website, hamiltoncoos.com. Under services, there is a drop down for that Fractional COO Collective, and to be able to learn more how to get the free membership. And if you're interested in doing more services, more support, more mentorship, then I don't think I mentioned this, but our premium membership is $89 a month. So it's not even that much. So just a way to get some more support and training.
Jen, I want to thank you for being a guest on our Fractionals Unplugged show. I'm going to put all that contact information in our show notes to make it really easy people to find you on LinkedIn in addition to your website. Be sure to subscribe to both our podcasts on all the major platforms and our YouTube channel for our videos. Use the power of your one big idea to differentiate you from everyone else who does what you do. Enjoy a pipeline consistently filled with clients you want to work with who value what you do. Choose freedom, flexibility, and control that comes from having your own fractional or consulting business, and enjoy being financially secure and professionally fulfilled. Until next time.